Hey guys, it's Casey, and today I'm going to talk about how to anticipate trends in media so that you can turn your novel into a bestseller. For decades, aspiring novelists have been trying to find that perfect formula on writing a manuscript that will turn any novel into a bestseller. What genre, what style of plot, what kind of characters are popular at the time and are going to continue to be popular in the future is one of the main ways that a novelist can change the way that their career runs. Hitting on the right topic at the right time can turn a nobody into a national hero in weeks or months. That's not to say that every single bestseller has followed a specific formula or that following trends is the best way to ensure readership, but they have to be doing something right. Now, I'm not a bestseller. I've written a novel, it hasn't been published, so don't take me at my word for this, but I've been noticing some trends in media that are kind of incredibly easy to follow and often pretty easy to predict. The one thing to remember when you're starting a new project and you want to anticipate what the next trend is going to be is fear. Not just fears of individual readers, although that can be a marketing tactic in itself to target people with certain kinds of fear and then capitalizing on that as a niche market. But in the collective fear and mass hysteria of humankind in itself, or as of certain populations, especially, of course, modern society. Some of the best comic book characters, movies, novels, even whole franchises are based off of the fears of the time adapted into something relatable and, more importantly, conquerable. Let me give you an example. The Incredible Hulk first appeared in 1962 during the Cold War and at a time when nuclear war was a great fear of the populations involved. The Incredible Hulk's powers, of course, came from an overexposure of gamma radiation. There wasn't much known about radiation at this time, so of course people were scared of what kind of effects it could have on human populations. Should a nuclear bomb be dropped? Should, radiation continue to leak from new nuclear power plants and all sorts of things? So that was the fear at the time. The 1960s also saw the first experimentation with cloning and genetics and cell research, and so when the X-Men came out in 1963, that capitalized on the fears of people had of genetic mutations. Both of these franchises capitalized on modern fears and turned it into something that was conquerable. Almost all trends in fiction and literature can be traced back to this collective human fear and propaganda going on at the time of its creation. More recently, the vampire craze, the zombie apocalypse novel, the werewolf TV show. It's all about viruses. 2002 saw the outbreak of the SARS virus, which caused a complete change in the fabric of what literature means to us right now. That's when the uprise of zombie literature really started to hit its stride. There was another wave in 2009 when the H1N1 pandemic created mass hysteria because everyone was afraid of catching this deadly virus that, even though it wasn't all that much different from the regular flu, created mass hysteria and panic in the population. Another main trend right now is dystopian novels, so post-apocalyptic worlds. People trying to imagine what the future would be like if there really was mutual annihilation, a nuclear war, or if the Mayan apocalypse actually happened. People are predicting the rapture, apocalypses, and some people are buying into that, which is what makes fiction about continued human existence after one of these catastrophic events so popular, because people like to think, well, even if something like this happened, how could we survive it? How could we continue to be a species after one of these events? Right now, things like The Terminator, Almost Human, The Matrix, those are all playing on people's fears of technology. There was a huge uprising in this theme every couple decades since the 1960s when computers started becoming mainstream knowledge. Especially after Y2K, there was huge hysteria about all the computers shutting down or trying to take over, and you get things like The Terminator. You get robot stories and cloning stories and those things, which seem scary now because we don't know how we would react as a species should something like that happen, which is why the trend in literature is becoming popular again. The new sci-fi series Helix is based on, no spoilers, a virus. It's about the CDC going to try and quarantining an area and attempting to contain a viral outbreak where one of the main characteristics is an impulse to pass it on. So obviously the key to writing lasting literature, popular literature, and hitting that bestsellers list is to capitalize on fear. So watch the news. Read the newspapers. Listen to the radio and find out what people are actually talking about, what they're scared of, what kind of propaganda and mass hysteria is going on at this time, and write about that. What sort of things are people worried about? Additives in vaccines? Carcinogens? Mutagens? The job market being changed by technological advances? The outbreak of disease and infections? The thing about publishing, though, is that sometimes it can take, even after you're done writing it, which can take years, it can take even a year after you've been signed to publish that literature. So will you be too late? No, because people remember those major fears and they internalize them. And, well, a part of it's timing. It's a lot about hitting that fear right at the right time. With a little luck and a little practice, finding that topic to write about that helps the human spirit conquer over its modern fear is what's going to get you noticed. It's what's going to get you a publishing deal. It's what's going to get your pilot picked up by a major broadcasting network. It's what's going to make your script actually become a movie. These are the things people think about, and these are the things that they want to see happen. They want to see reflected in their media that they can consume and feel less scared because they know it's possible to conquer. Part of being a good writer is being able to capitalize on other people's fears. So own it.